Good morning and welcome back to another episode of my life traveling Asia. So today we're going to the Ho Chi tunnels used during the Vietnam War. So I've got Jay and I breakfast, just some chicken banh mi, which is a famous sandwich here in Ho Chi Minh, or in Vietnam in general. So I'm just at Jay's hotel right now, standing out the front. Gonna wake him up. We've got a bus coming in about 10 minutes, and let's hit the road and see what this day has in store for us. Good morning, guys. We've just stopped off at the Handicap handcrafts, which is essentially all of the people that got affected by the chemical Agent Orange in the war. They come here and they make arts and crafts. So I'll put up some footage now, but it's really interesting to see that they've given these people some work to do and they sell their arts and crafts to make money. Unfortunately, in the war, it was so sad that the US tested these chemicals and sprayed 1/3 of the entire country in Agent Orange, which caused birth defects, handicap, a lot of disabilities, mental disabilities as well, birth defects, reproduction effects. It's terribly sad. Coming here before the tour of the tunnels is something that I'm glad that we did. I didn't know it was included in the itinerary, so it's really awesome to see, and I'm glad that we can support them by buying some of their arts and crafts. So as you can see behind me, all of these black lines are actually the tunnels, and this tunnel system goes up 30 kilometers that way with that black dotted line, and 70 kilometers the other way. These tunnels were absolutely massive. Also, our guide doesn't actually like being on camera, so even when he's explaining stuff I can't actually film because he's asked me not to, which sort of sucks, so I'm sorry about that, but it is what it is, so I'll do my best to explain everything. So as you can see behind me, this bunker actually destroyed the people living in the tunnels. So it was I believe a 50-ton bomb killed this area, so even people in the tunnels did not survive through the bombings, which is really sad.
Hold the bottom, go down, cover, go back to Melbourne, City.
So our guide was just saying that the Americans thought that there was heaps of Vietnamese soldiers, but actually there was just a lot of trapdoors everywhere. So yeah, it's crazy because there was heaps of tunnels everywhere, so the Vietnamese popped out of every single place, but there wasn't actually that many fighters. It's just because there was so many tunnels. So as you can see behind me, this is the traps that they used to trap the Americans. So because the Vietnamese soldiers weren't as strong as the Americans, so they'd use traps like these to hunt them out and trap them. So the soldier would be walking along, step on this grass and then fall in.
So easy to it. If you come in here, you don't look the real one, and after you go to tourist tunnel, very different. Tourist side 60, high to 70.
So behind me here is the real life tunnel, like the real size, 30 by 20 centimeters the Viet Cong crawled through to hide themselves from the Americans. Absolutely crazy. So as you could see just there were centipedes in the tunnel, and that's like now with all the tourists there, so you can only imagine how many snakes and bugs and everything would be in there. This termite nest behind me, they used to drill holes through it to be able to breathe in the tunnels underneath. So that's how they did it. That's how they were able to breathe and get oxygen in the tunnels. The Americans had no idea how they did it, but they used natural termite nests as a disguise to get air in and above the tunnels, so they would build the tunnels underneath the termite nests.
Oh, yeah.
It's as high as I can do it.
Here, one hand. Năm cái nha. Không có hả?
This was one of the American tanks that they used to come through here and fight the Viet Cong. As you saw in that video, that weighs 50 kilos. A lot stronger than me.
When the American soldiers come in here, if someone they step in here, they get hurt and get killed. They cover by bamboo leaf, and you step like that. Get a seesaw trap like that. If you fall down here, they hit.
So behind me you can see that they used to grab all of the bombs from the Americans that didn't explode and reuse it and remake bombs of their own. So they were very smart in essentially recycling the ammunition to make their own bombs. So it's very, very smart of them. And to be able to re-engineer the bombs without them blowing up is something amazing. So now I'm about to buy some bullets to shoot an AK-47, which is something I'm really excited to do. I've never shot an AK-47 in my life, let alone a gun that big.
Hold chút AK-47. Okay, same. Yeah, let him hold here. Okay, yeah. Look for me. You took the left photo. Take that photo. So, yeah. Okay.
Damn. That was so loud. I actually, once I finished shooting, I took my things off and I forgot because someone next to me started shooting. You can hear it there, and my ear went BAM! So just a side note, they use these leaves and build it up to make huts. So they weave the palm tree leaves through to make the roofs for the huts, and then they layer it, which stops the rain coming in. Fun fact. These shoes here behind me are actually made out of tires, and what they did was the Viet Cong wore the shoes backwards, so when they're walking through the forest, the Americans thought that they were walking one way, but they're actually walking the opposite way, and they had no idea. So that's a really smart war tactic. I never knew that. That's so interesting. Now going into the main tunnels, which have been expanded a little bit for the tourists to go in. But so we're going to walk 40 meters. This is a workout.
A lot of gas in the tunnel. Okay, very good. Oh no.
Oh my goodness. We were only in there for 3 minutes and everyone's already huffing and puffing. You could imagine what it was like in there for 10 years. Oh my god. Yeah guys, that's right, 10 years. So I don't think I touched on this. That's how long the Viet Cong were living in the tunnels during the war, for 10 years. At night time they would come out and go to the river, but all during the day they would live in the tunnels and in and out and fighting the war. And we were in a tourist tunnel that was three times bigger than what the actual tunnels were, and we're only in there for 3 minutes. So that wraps up our tour for today. If you've liked today's video, please drop it a like. I tried to be as informational as possible, and as always guys, keep it real. Cheers.